What's up guys, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. Today is literally just get stuff done and cook. So right now I am cooking up some steaks and some mashed potatoes and some veggies, and that's gonna be our lunch. It is currently, well, it's currently 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna make the steaks in the Ninja Foodie on the broil feature, which I am so excited for because it's like the easiest way to make steaks, and we don't have the grill set up because it's like freezing outside. It's actually like well below freezing. But yeah, I'm about to peel some potatoes and cook up some lunch. Currently sitting in our office slash workout room, and I am about to build my car tote, my car emergency winter tote, and I figured I'd take y'all along and show you what I pack in my car tote for the winter time here in Alaska. Alright, there are already 2 items in here, and it's just a simple windshield visor and some, like, what is in here? Tylenol, tissues. Actually, let me just open it up and see. We have glass wipes, wet towel, multi-purpose wipes, tissues, Advil, a red pen, and 2 C batteries. Not exactly sure why I have 2 C batteries in here, but they're in here. So these 2 items are already in here. So the reason why I am building this car emergency winter kit tote to put in my car is because whenever it snows here, sometimes you might just get stuck where you are just by the sheer amount of snow that has fallen. So making sure that you are prepared just in case you get stuck in like a rural area or an area where a tow truck can't get to you immediately is very key. So the first item that I will put into my box, or into my tote, excuse me, are tow straps. So tow straps are really useful, especially if you get stuck in the snow. So like I was telling you in a previous video, if you haven't seen the video, click the I, that people here in Alaska, they know that nobody likes to be out in the cold or get stuck, right? So whenever you get stuck, people tend to want to help. So the easiest way for somebody else to help you is if you are prepared. So having tow straps in your car is a big help. Secondly, whenever you do get stuck, it is a law in Alaska that if you are in an accident or you're stuck on the side of the road, that you put out flares. So these are actually electric flares. They run on battery, but they're just these little discs. And this pack comes in a pack of 4. Instead of the actual like candlelight flares. I believe that's what it is. But having flares is definitely a must. Another thing that I will put in here is an orange PT belt, or just something reflective. So whenever you are stuck and you're trying to dig yourself out, having something reflective on is definitely going to help other motorists or passerbyers. Is that even a word? Don't know. Know that you are out there, so that way they can see you. Alright, the next thing that's gonna go in the tote is my emergency space blanket. So this is like a thick, feels like a like one of those aluminum sun visors, you know, like the old school instead of like the pop-up one that I have, the accordion one. That's what this material feels like, but it's a space blanket. So whenever you are stuck on the side of the road, obviously you don't want to run out of gas by like running your car 24/7. So having a blanket is definitely a must, and a space blanket, it keeps you warm, actually warmer than like any other type of blanket would. So I just have a blanket and I put it in this nice little bag, and that will go in the tote. So along with the trend of being warm, I also have just a regular fleece blanket. Layers upon layers upon layers of just warmth. So you don't freeze to death while you're stuck on the side of the road. So I have a space blanket and I have this big fleece blanket. I also have 2 separate types of coats. So like I said, layers upon layers upon layers. I have a regular fleece coat, or jacket, excuse me. This stays in my car all the time, just because like if I forget a jacket or if it just suddenly gets cold, maybe like in the summertime, I have a car jacket. So this is a fleece jacket, and then I also have a waterproof, just a regular waterproof winter jacket, just for extra warmth. If I have a passenger, or like say Chris forgets a coat, I have extra coats. Going along with the theme of apparel and keeping warm, you know, layers upon layers, like I said, I also have 2 PT caps, or just 2 beanies to keep your head warm. I have a pair of gloves, and I also have an extra pair of socks. That's one thing you definitely don't want to get cold, are your toes. And the saying goes, not the saying, but like it's scientifically proven, but the first things to freeze on your body are things the furthest away from your heart, which are your fingers and your toes. So keeping those things warm will keep you safe and warm altogether. So I also have yak tracks. These are extra traction that you just slide onto the pair of shoes that you're wearing, and it gives you traction whenever you're walking on ice. Say maybe you run out of gas on the side of the road, or you see a gas station maybe half a mile away and you need to walk to it. You throw these bad boys on and you're good to go. So I have a pair of yak tracks in my tote. So the last couple items, I have a towel. You never know when you might need a towel. This also stays in my car year round, because whenever I like go to car washes, I kind of like to wipe down my car afterwards, because the blow dryer or the car dryer never gets your car all the way dry. So having a towel to just wipe down after your car wash is good. But this is always in my car tote. This next item doesn't really have an explanation, but I have a hazmat suit in here for, you never know. I don't know. Maybe something crazy and wild might happen and they're pulling motorists off the street and say, all right, you're now the head of this blah, 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 blah. Hazmat suit. No, I'm not apocalyptic, or no, I'm not a, what's it called, a prepper or anything, but given the situation, you gotta be prepared. All right, so I have 3 more items. The first is an umbrella. You never know when it's gonna rain, or in this case, you never know when it's gonna be freezing rain, or you're gonna be on the side of the road and need to walk somewhere and it's snowing really bad. An umbrella does the same thing with snow as it does for rain, so here you go. And the last 2 items. The first is a snow brush with a nice scraper on the end. Whenever your car is covered in snow, you need a brush to brush it off. I actually have 3 brushes. So one stays in my office, one stays in the back seat of my car, and then this is my emergency one, just in case one of those other ones goes missing or I accidentally leave it at home. This is my emergency brush. And there are some times where you get into a parking lot and you can't get out of the parking lot or your parking spot because it has snowed multiple inches while you are at work. This bad boy will get you out. So I actually got this in Colorado. Actually, my dad bought this for me in Colorado, just so that I am prepared. And look at here. In Alaska, I am definitely using it. I've actually used this to dig myself out of a parking lot because none of the snow plows plowed the parking lot. Getting in was easy. It was the getting out that was tough. So this is actually an extendable, if I can remember how to do it. There you go. It's actually an extendable shovel that you can use to dig yourself out. It also works for, like, maybe you see a Samaritan in your parking lot or on the side of the road and you want to stop and help them out. You got a shovel to help them out so they don't have to dig with their hands, because no one wants to be outside digging themselves out with their bare hands because the snow is cold. So a few things that you did not see in this tote are food and water. So like y'all heard the other day, it was negative, what, 11 or 18? I can't remember, but it's well below zero and well below freezing. So if you have water or any type of food in your car, it's gonna freeze. There have been some days where I would leave a bottle of water just in my cup holder, and I come back after a day at work and it's frozen, like completely frozen. Same thing with my lunch too. I had left my lunch box in the car, and then by the time it was lunchtime, I go out to my car and my lunch turned into a frozen dinner. Like, it took 3 times as long for me to warm up my lunch, simply because it froze in the car. So keeping water and keeping food, I per se don't believe it's valuable or worth it in my car tote. But then again, I always have bottles of water in my car anyway, just not particularly in the tote. But to each his own, whichever works best for you. If you are driving in a rural area or if you live far away from people, then maybe yes, keeping food and keeping water in here would be great. But based on our location and just where we go, where we live, it's not feasible, or I guess it's not worth it for us. Alright, so there you have it. I have my my preparation kit, or my car kit, in my car, ready to go, ready for this upcoming weather that we are about to have. I am so blurry. I gotta get used to this camera, guys. So it doesn't stop there. Our car has actually had to get winterized. As you see, there is a plug sticking out of the front, because whenever it is below zero, we have to plug in our cars. So I'm gonna have Chris talk you through what we have to get, or how you need to winterize your car if you're coming to Alaska.
So there's 3 things that you got to your car. You have this trickle charge here, which when it's plugged in, it just keeps a small charge going towards the battery so that your battery doesn't die in the cold and you're able to start your car. Additionally, with this, it's hooked up to a heater that's on the bottom of your oil pan, which is, I mean, it's down in here, you'll never see it. You'd have to look from underneath the car. But it's basically a heat pad, heat blanket, or whatever that's on the metal pan that just keeps that fluid in a more of a fluid state and not like a syrupy state. You have one on your transmission fluid as well. But that's really it. You can get a battery blanket, which you don't have. You just have just a regular like padding for the battery. But a lot of times people, instead of the trickle charge, will get a battery blanket. But trickle charge is better. That's pretty much it. You just got really just those main 3 things. And then this is where everything's plugged in at, right here.
So it's like its own outlet.
Yep. So that's exactly what this is. This is just a plug that runs to an outlet that has everything plugged into it. There's 4 things plugged in there. I forgot. You also have a block heater that plugs into your engine block.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's how, you know, you prepare your vehicle and yourself for the winter. Thanks, Chris, for walking us through. And thanks for tuning in for today's video. We got a lot of stuff done. Chris got a lot of work done. I got a lot of homework done. I'm so close. I'm literally, like, I can hit submit if I want. I can hit submit if I wanted to, but I'm gonna sit on it for one more day to see if there are any other changes I need to make. And then that's it. I'm done with my masters. Oh my gosh. Like, I am like completely done. I had my ceremony. That was awesome, but this is it. So thanks again for tuning in for today's video. If you liked it, give it a huge thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below. And whenever you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Bing, bing. So you don't miss any videos that I post, and we'll see y'all later.
Especially during Vlogmas.
Bye guys.